Attention please. This upload is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles GPITRAL. GPITRAL. Definitely a must-see. Follow us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to The Sixth Sense. My name's Colin Fry, and I'd like to invite you now to join me as we try to draw the two worlds just a little bit closer together. Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, and let's see where we go. I've got a gentleman here who wants a connection to his family who would remember that Dad had this thing about licorice all sorts. Where is your daughter? Show me. There's a lady with a black top up there. Did Dad have a thing about licorice all sorts?
I think so, but I'm not 100% certain.
Right, OK. Darling, I've got to ask a question here to make sense of this. Did Dad pass away a long time ago?
Yeah, yes.
Why is he talking about married twice and not being happy with either of them? All right, because it's all right, because he just said to me, she'll know what I mean. What was this wedding going back years ago where he almost had to be begged to wear a tie?
My other brother's wedding.
They almost had to beg him to wear a tie.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was at the wedding, but I wasn't there.
Right.
When they were begging him to wear the tie, but yes.
Your dad, bless his heart, was probably in your lifetime one of the most cantankerous people that you've ever met since, you know? And he knows that. He knows that. He knows he was difficult. He knows he was the most cantankerous so-and-so going. You made a move towards him shortly before he passed over, and he rejected it.
Yeah.
And he just asked me to come and say to you for him, he just needs to let you know, he can't change his personality, he can't change his character. He doesn't feel he's any different that side of life to what he was this side of life. But he just wants to say to you, he does regret about the fact that he didn't give you the chance to tell your side of things. All right. And he just wants to let you know as well, don't think you're posh because you've got net curtains as well now. Your brother has been having quite bad problems in the lower part of his back, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah? Your dad's just telling me, he said, his son is not going to believe that his dad's expressed any concern for his well-being at all. He said, but I am. He said, can you just actually make sure that the message is passed on to his boy about the fact that he hopes that they get his back sorted out for him fairly soon. All right. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't be anybody other than I am. He said, but I had to talk to you today to tell you that I wish that we'd had that opportunity to talk. And I'm sorry that I rejected you. I'll leave your dad's love with you. God bless.
Thank you. We've been so looking forward to being you, but, I mean, when you're actually waiting to come in, you get so nervous.
I've got a gentleman here who wants a connection to his family who would remember that Dad had this thing about licorice all sorts.
It was my father, and he hasn't spoken to me for about 30 years. And a couple of days ago, I rang my sister because her husband has died and said, you know, if Eddie comes through, is it all right if I talk about it? She said, yeah, of course, you know what's going to happen. She said, Father's going to come through.
Your dad, bless his heart, was probably in your lifetime one of the most cantankerous people that you've ever met since.
Ted, my father, was a very strong-willed man, and whatever he said happened. If it didn't, there was trouble.
And argumentative.
Yeah, and he was very argumentative, but it was always me. I was always the one that would argue, and I was always the one that was in trouble.
What was this wedding going back years ago where he almost had to be begged to wear a tie?
It was my youngest brother's wedding, Gordon, and the story goes is that they had to talk him in to come in first of all, and then they had to bully him into wearing a tie.
Why is he talking about married twice and not being happy with either of them?
He always used to say, my father always used to say to me, you don't deserve to be happy. And that was when I got married the first time. He always used to say that to me. But I don't think he ever met Pete, did he? Pete never?
No.
No, so perhaps that's just him looking down on me, the second marriage.
And he just wants to let you know as well, don't think you're posh because you've got net curtains as well now.
A lot of the other older members of the family used to say, oh, she's posh, she's got net curtains now.
And you're just decorating your house, aren't you?
Yeah,
Putting new curtains up.
And we got half up and half down.
I wish that we'd had that opportunity to talk. And I'm sorry that I rejected you.
Well, a good few years ago now, when the girls were a bit smaller, they wanted to know why they couldn't see their granddad. So I wrote him a letter saying, you know, me and you have got a problem, but let the kids come. And he never answered me. And then I found out after he died, after my father died, when my mother moved, she actually found the letter. He'd kept the letter, he hadn't thrown it away.
I had to talk to you today to tell you that I wish that we'd had that opportunity to talk.
I was very angry with my father, really, because he didn't have to make it up with me just to accept the girls. And then to find out years later that he still had that letter was a bit upsetting.
And I'm sorry that I rejected you.
Yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, I mean, he's still my father, and he always will be, never mind what he done or what I done, you know.
Yeah.
As long as the kids are all right about it now and then.
I'll leave your dad's love with you.
I was shocked when he was actually doing it. I could do nothing but laugh. And it's taken a while to sink in, and I don't think that it's gone in properly yet.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 2 hours drive home if we're talking about it now.
But it was very, very good.
I have a feeling of a lady here who is showing me that she passed to the world of spirit at 2:25 Yes, my love.
Time when and it's framed on the wall at the time.
Gran.
Whether that's anything to do with
2:25?
Yeah, I'm not accurate dead on, but it did actually stop at the time she passed away.
Darling, would you come and join me up on the couch? I think I need to focus on this because there seems to be something quite important that she seems to be trying to get through here.
And sisters, do you want us to
I think we'll have both of you then, because this seems to be very much a family matter that she wants to talk to you about. Will you come up and join me? Okay. Do you want to come and take a seat? All right. Come and take a seat. There we are. This is going to be quite a difficult thing to do because it doesn't just involve you and your sister. The feeling that your gran is giving me is it involves the whole family, all right? Both sides of the family, all right? Would you please understand that when she passed the spirit, you were all very close.
Yeah, and then everybody's...
And now everybody's gone, like, off into their different directions. Yeah. Are you 2 of 3?
There's 3 of us left. There was 5 of us. 2 have passed on.
Right, but would you please understand why your gran's asking, like, you and your sister and the remaining one to sit down and talk some sense
Yeah, we haven't spoke for quite a few years to my brother.
There's a David here somewhere as well.
Our brother that's passed is David.
So I've got, at the moment, I've got Gran and David trying to connect through to me, all right? And there does seem to be this big feeling from them of being sad that the family are so fractured, all right?
Yeah.
Before she slipped away, she had actually made you all promise that you would look after one another. You, more than any of the others, she's telling me, should remember this. Can you understand that?
All the time with him.
Right. Your Gran doesn't mean this in a derogatory way. She's not having a go at you or your mum. But she's just put a thought through to me just to say to you, if you and your mum stopped trying to please one another quite so much, then you'd probably get on an awful lot better. Can you understand that? Because it just seems to be that you try very hard not to have a go at one another, but you end up having a go at one another. Why was David getting pains in his neck? It's just putting this feeling through to me that leading up to his passing, he'd been getting pain round his neck.
He was only 4, he had lots of forms of cancer. I mean, I was 3 and he was 4, so...
Ah, right. Which one of you's got the little one that won't eat boiled eggs?
Me. Well, she picked his name but never actually met him.
She just asked me to mention about, tell him to stop making so much fuss about the bed. I think if you want to make your Gran and your brother happy, I think you should organise something to get the family together again. I'll leave your Gran's love with you and I'll leave your brother's love with you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. We have tried to get readings before, not been successful, and today we was, and it was lovely. And to have it confirmed by my brother coming as well and having the name of my brother, because it didn't really say anything about my grandma's name or anything. So to confirm my brother's name, then we really knew that Colin was with us.
Leading up to his passing, he'd been getting pain round his neck.
He was only 4, he had lots of forms of cancer. They gave him the polio injection when he was little and it gave him cancer. And he was very, very poorly through it. But apparently I always still spoke about him. After he passed on, he was still always there with me.
There's this big feeling from them of being sad that the family are so fractured.
It was always a house full, it was always mad, wasn't it? Never quiet when Grandma was around. It was a very big family. And that's why I think she's saying now it's been split up. She always had a house full and she doesn't like it now.
Before she slipped away, she had actually made you all promise that you would look after one another.
Yeah, Grandma did say, I want you all to stay together and I'll stay friends, and obviously it hasn't, so we'll have to see what we can sort out and just try.
Which one of you's got the little one that won't eat boiled eggs?
Me. Well, she picked his name but never actually met him. At the end of my pregnancy, I knew I was, you know, Grandma wasn't going to last and see this baby. So like I said, I had the scan so that she knew, and then tried everything possible to go into labour so that she could hold this baby and she'd see him.
Tell him to stop making so much fuss about the bed.
He gets me up 50 times in the night. If he's quilting dead straight, he'll shout me and I have to put it right for him.
I'll leave your Gran's love with you and I'll leave your brother's love with you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, the day's been like a roller coaster of emotions, up and down, and absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad that we came.
Yeah, I loved every minute of it, it was
I
great.
wouldn't miss it for the world.